Every relationship hides a story, and every story carries pain. Welcome to Cheating Stories Insights, where truth bleeds through words. The glass shattered before the words did. Red wine across the marble floor. Laughter frozen mid-air. I remember her face, flushed, sharp, radiant under the chandelier. Her friend's eyes glimmering like a live audience waiting for blood. "You're a worthless loser," she screamed. "You don't deserve me." The room fell silent. I didn't flinch, didn't move. It wasn't the first time she'd said it, but it was the first time she said it for applause. Something inside me, quiet, old, patient, finally stood up. "You know what?" I said softly. "You're right." Her smirk widened. Her friends shifted, unsure if it was victory or confession. I set my drink down, walked past them, left without another word. The door closed behind me with the kind of finality you don't hear until years later. In the silence that followed, I realized something brutal. Losing her wasn't failure, it was freedom. That night, she didn't call, didn't text, but her friends did, 3 of them, same message phrased differently. "You okay?" I ignored them, not out of pride, but because I already knew what came next. The apologies, the tears, the half-truths disguised as "I didn't mean it." By morning, the headlines in her private world had already changed. I was overreacting, too sensitive, trying to make her look bad. She spun the narrative faster than I could breathe. I watched from a distance, quiet, detached. That was her talent, control through chaos. Make a scene, then make you feel guilty for walking away. But something about last night was different. There was a flicker of unease behind her fury, a calculation that slipped. Maybe because her friends didn't laugh. Maybe because one of them, her closest, Lena, looked at me when I left. Not with pity, with guilt. That look stayed with me, all day, all night. By the next morning, I stopped wondering why. I started looking. People show you who they are in their patterns. You just have to stop loving them long enough to see it. I started small, phone records, credit statements. The first anomaly appeared in her Uber receipts. Repeated trips to a single address downtown. Same night every week. A hotel. Not expensive, not cheap. Familiar, discreet. Lena's name was on the guest registry once. Her friend, her witness, her accomplice. I felt nothing. Not rage, not heartbreak, just pattern recognition. I followed her digital trail like tracing fingerprints on glass. Spotify playlists, location tags, a private photo folder backed up to her email. One picture stopped me cold. Her, in that same hotel room. Not alone, not with a stranger, with her boss, the one who'd toasted her independence at that same party. My wife, the woman who called me worthless, was sleeping with the man who'd built her career from favors and leverage. And her friends knew, all of them. The night she screamed at me wasn't random, it was rehearsed, a distraction, a cover-up. I closed my laptop and stared at the dark screen. For the first time, I smiled. I waited 3 days, watched her perform her daily perfection routine on social media. Every post carefully lit, every caption premeditated. Then, on the 4th night, she texted, "We need to talk." We met at the same lounge where she'd humiliated me. Her tone was careful, her makeup immaculate. "You left me in a really awkward position," she said. "You did fine," I said. I was angry. I didn't mean it. "You meant every word." She blinked, thrown off. "What are you talking about?" I slid a small flash drive across the table. "This," I said. Her hand trembled as she picked it up. "What is this?" "Your hotel receipts, photos, texts, emails." She froze. Her eyes darted around the room, searching for an escape that didn't exist. "I don't know what you think you found." "Don't insult me with denial," I said quietly. "You know what's on there." She looked at me like a trapped animal. "You can't ruin me over this." "I don't have to ruin you," I said. "You already did that yourself." I never planned on sending it to her boss's wife, but I did. Not out of vengeance, out of principle. By the end of the week, her boss resigned. His wife filed for divorce. My wife lost her position in the company scandal that followed. She tried to call me after the fallout, dozens of times. When I finally answered, her voice was unrecognizable. "You destroyed my life." "No," I said, "you did. I just stopped covering for it." Then, softer, "Funny thing though, your friends didn't cover for you either." Silence. "You should ask Lena what she told me that night," I added. It was true. Lena had called me after the party, apologized, said she was sick of pretending, told me everything. My wife gasped. She wouldn't." "She did." And I hung up. A month later, I passed her by accident at a cafe downtown. She looked smaller somehow. Not physically, just reduced. Her friends weren't with her anymore, neither was her mask. She saw me, froze, then tried to smile. I didn't stop walking. There was nothing left to say. She'd once told me I was worthless. She measured worth in applause, attention, and borrowed power. Now, she had none of those things. As I stepped outside, the air felt cleaner, lighter. I wasn't her loser anymore. I wasn't anyone's. I didn't destroy her. I just stopped protecting her from the truth. And that, I realized, is the purest kind of revenge. The kind where you walk away and they never recover from your silence.